Question we have is role of geospatial technologies in enabling smart city by geospatial media and communications. For this, we have a chairperson, Ms. Anamika Das, who is Vice President, Outreach and Business Development, Geospatial Media and Communications. Ma'am Das, can I have you on the desk, please? Our special address is by Shri D.N. Modi. He is an IAS officer, Commissioner, Gandhi Nagar Municipal Commission. Mr. Modi, Mr. D.N. Modi. Well, the panelists, we have Dr. Abhay. Can we have Dr. Abhay? Mr. Atanu Sinha. Commodore Deepak Uppal. Deepak Uppal. Yes, please. On the dais, please. Ruchi Varma. Can I have you on the dais, please? Sanjay Sahay. Can I have you on the dais, please, sir? Mr. Sudhir Aggarwal. Mr. Neeraj Mittal. Mr. Modi. Yes, please, sir. Can I have you on the dais, please? Ma'am, can I request you to start the session with a special address? Thank you so much.
Hello and welcome you all to this session on role of geospatial for smart cities. As we all know, smart cities are no longer a wave of future. They are here now and growing quickly. So smart cities are connected cities and they work in conjunction with everything from IoT sensors to data collection to smart street lights to everything that is there in the city as a utilities to provide services and better communications. So while there are many definitions to smart city, but in general the smart city utilizes IoT sensors or actuators and technology to connect components across the city. And it impacts every layer of the city from underneath the earth to the air that the citizens are breathing. And the data from all these segments is analyzed and patterns are being derived from the collected data. So with this note, I would request Shri D.N. Modi, IS Commissioner from Gandhi Nagar Municipal Corporation Commission to give his special address.
Gujarat has always been fortunate to have had visionary for its leaders. Prime Minister Narendra Modi views technology as a means to empower and as a tool that bridges the distance between hope and opportunity.
I see technology as a means to empower and as a tool that bridges the distance between hope and opportunity.
Chief Minister Vijay Rupani has been intently pursuing the accomplishment of the Smart City project. The Deputy Chief Minister too has been actively involved with the project, and the result of this futuristic vision is Wi-Fi City Gandhi Nagar, India's first all Wi-Fi connected capital city. Gandhi Nagar, Wi-Fi City. A 57-kilometer area comprising 30 sectors with more than a 2 lakh strong population will benefit from a Wi-Fi city that will be embedded with around 1,25,000 smart devices and more than 750 Wi-Fi access points that will help citizens of the city to engage with Prime Minister's Digital India movement. 6 smart services have been sparked off at Smart City Gandhi Nagar. Smart data connectivity, IP-based surveillance system, smart street lighting, digital signage with environmental sensors, and smart public address system, making Gandhi Nagar the country's first Wi-Fi city. Gandhi Nagar. Smart communication, under whose open skies the roads of the 30 sectors of the city will have access to round-the-clock seamless Wi-Fi facility. Citizens can enjoy the benefits of Wi-Fi facility as they are set to receive 30 minutes of free internet, and rather than just 2G and 3G, All this will be streaming at a robust speed of 2 Mbps to citizens who can get access to public services all at just a click. 1,25,000 citizens registered for the pilot test. People can now receive official updates for health and security through SMS and voice messaging facilities right on their fingertips. 15,000 citizens have been enjoying Wi-Fi services daily. An impressive 75% of Gandhinagar has been drawn under the canopy of Wi-Fi coverage, and this internet speed is all set to accelerate the speed of Gatishil Gujarat. Smart security. Gandhinagar, where at 36 locations there will be face and vehicle speed detection, general surveillance and number plate recognition. These features will help CCTV cameras to monitor the safety of citizens through a well-equipped central control room. Smart energy. Gandhinagar, where 1,000 smart street lights will illuminate the city and where motion sensors will put an end to power wastage, which in turn will bring down CO2 emission impressively. Smart information. Gandhinagar, where 5 digital signages equipped with environmental sensors in place at 5 significant locations give minute-by-minute vital information on the weather, traffic and pollution. Where 13 public address systems broadcast important notices and information about emergency situations. Smart people. If we could just pause, give it a thought, imagine lakhs of residents of a city getting to reap the benefits of a digital life. Will it not add value to the caliber of Gujarat and its smart citizens? But as they say, this is only the beginning, a momentous milestone towards making Gujarat a prosperous state. Gandhinagar, Wi-Fi City.
Good morning, everybody. As you have seen the project Gandhinagar Wi-Fi City, here we are claiming to be the first live smart city services. As you might be knowing, the government of India has started declaring smart city. So right at the time of launch of this smart city project, Government of India, we started our own smart city project. So we were definitely selected under the short list of those 100 cities. But during the first 2 rounds, Gandhinagar could not be selected as smart city. But without waiting that, we started to really deploy all those services which other cities are in the planning mode. So that's why we are boasting we are the first live smart city. As you have seen in the movie, these are the services, and I would go one by one then. So the project was awarded by Government of Gujarat to Gandhinagar Municipal Corporation in January 2016, and we have launched the program within almost 10 to 11 months. So the program was concluded within 10 to 11 months, and we have inaugurated in December 16. So first of all, I would narrate a little about the city. What is city? The city is a very small city. It's I think one of the smallest state capital city. Though it is state capital, we are a very small city. Only 57 square kilometer is the area across 30 sectors, and the population is 2.20 lakh. And right now, the number of smart devices is 1.90 lakh in the city. The most important part is that the project was a combination of CapEx and OpEx, and the total expenditure would be approximately 22 crore rupees. Among this 22 crore rupees, 50% is capital expenditure, and the rest 50% OpEx is to be expanded during the next 5 years. So the main components are, as you have seen, seamless and secure connectivity access, data connectivity, then IP-based surveillance system. The surveillance system also include the face detection, speed detection, automatic number plate reading recognition, These are the main part of our city-based, IP-based surveillance system. The another thing is public address system, IP-based public address system. Then energy, the energy saving smart street lights. They are also having motion sensor. Then the digital signage boards with environmental sensor. Then device agnostic mobile app and integrated command and control center and 24/7 help desk. So this is one of our, this is one of our, traffic circle where all our components and amenities are situated. So it is just to showcase one of the circle in detail where you can find the digital signage, Wi-Fi access point, and public address system, CCTV camera, and environmental sensor. For example, it is given. So, what the impact we wanted to give in the city administration? So, number one was, as you we have already discussed, the better Wi-Fi connectivity. Then there is foundation for all the new services, smart services, which are to come in the city during next 5 years. Then enhance the city planning and development. People can connect easily with government, improve the productivity and services in the city, and the socio-economic development or growth in the city. So, I am a Gujarati, and as Gujarati are famous for, you know what. So, we will not make any single model which doesn't sustain. So, we tried to give the project self-sustenance. So, the revenue generation from the project should be a core issue. So during the next 5 years, as we have seen all those display units, we will be going for commercial also. So by those commercial, this is the committed revenue to be generated during the next 5 years. That is 1.65 crore rupees out of the commercial on these signage displays. Then there is one more socio-economic, as it was mentioned in the movie. We are giving free Wi-Fi data every day to the citizen of Gandhinagar, or whosoever is commuting to Gandhinagar. Being state capital, almost 40,000 people daily come to the city for different purposes. So they are also would be beneficiary. So during these 5 years, the value of free Wi-Fi at the existing rate, if we calculate, it is approximately 7.12 crore rupees. Then what are the implementation and impact side? So right now the difference is that many cities have done Wi-Fi, but generally they are only hotspot based, while in Gandhinagar it is pan city Wi-Fi connectivity. It's a open to sky Wi-Fi connectivity, and almost 80% of the city is covered and it is already serving the city. Of course, the 20%, the majority part is protected forest within city. That area we have not covered right now, but within 2-3 months more, we would be covering the 100%. Now the population, etc., as you have seen, mobile devices user right now 1.9 lakh. We have covered all this Wi-Fi connectivity through 750 access points all around the city. As you can see, unique login per day is 6300, and daily the new registration number are also 250 to 270 in the range. Right now total registered users out of 1.90 lakh, the estimate is approximately 1.70 lakh. So almost every citizen has taken its benefit, or at least they have tested or tried during these 3 to 4 months. So first of all, now I will go little in detail. So safety and security of citizens. So across 35 points, we have installed these camera, different types of camera, as you can see, PTZ, fixed, speed detection, ANPR, and face detection. The total number is 209. So by these 209 numbers of camera, we can monitor the whole city's activities on roads and on main public area. So the impact, now I am talking of not only those commercial, but this is the real impact, socio-economic impact on the day-to-day life of citizen, and how we have made the city safe and secure for its citizen. So you can see the road accidents during these 4 months is down by 20%. The another part is crime. So by this surveillance system, the number of crime offenses in the city has reduced to whopping 39%. And here it's very, very important to note that there is not a single chain snatching incident in the city since we have deployed the surveillance system. The third part is that there is a whopping success in detecting crime. So detection of crime also has improved like anything. The third part is traffic, the traffic discipline. By delivering or issuing all those e-challans per month, 10,000 per month, and I think it's a big number for a city. Its population is approximately 2.2 lakh. So by this, the speed violation, or we can say we could keep the citizen vehicle speed under control by 12%. And this surveillance system is of course useful for our bandobast. When, as being state capital, many times all state dignitary and VIP from India and outside India are coming regularly. So during those bandobast, it's very useful for the law and order of the city. So centrally managed dynamic content signage. So these signages are also useful for any movement, state movement. For example, if some movement is regarding polling or voting, let us say polio vaccination, or any important program, public oriented program, in those we can canvass and we can use these, and we have used all these signages for successful polio campaign and the last Swachh Bharat mission program. So any program we were easily publishing to the people for any movement in Swachh Bharat through these signages. And we have also, these are the examples, as you can see, Amitabh Bachchan for polio vaccination and Swachh Bharat. And the lower three screens are for our environment sensor. What is the situation of pollution on road, moderate, satisfactory or good. So these are the exemplary, even commercials are also there. Then one-stop platform to address citizen. In the city, we have identified certain location where we have installed all these public address system through which we can announce, we can publicly announce anything which is, if it is calamity or emergency or any general announcement, then these at one go, this public address system is very useful, you can understand. Then by this we have got effective communication with ground staff. There is one more thing, through this surveillance system and public address system, police can take hajri of his constable and corporation also can take hajri of our staff who are involved in Swachh Bharat, sanitation and solid waste management. So by this, the productivity and effectiveness of public administration and police has improved. As I talked about smart lights, so clearly 40% of energy savings. Last February, March, April 16 and February, March and April 17, if we compare the electricity consumption bill for the street lights, it is reduced by 40% and it is clear cut on record, and by this, at the same time, we could also reduce the carbon footprint in that proportion. Then there is one application, mobile application, which is user friendly, agnostic and instant access to the government services. So people in Gandhinagar can now contact municipal corporation as well as government services in a better way without committing to the offices. So by this, we are enhancing the e-governance. These are other facilities through application like utility connectivity bills and information and monetization. They can explore all this, banner advertisement, etc. Now there is a video wall, centrally located video wall, through which the police and administration can see through any activity, whether it is good or bad or any criminal activity. It can be reached immediately and police can go to the place immediately. So we are securing a safe and secure city. So by this, as you know, 24/7 surveillance for all the social security and like speed violation, theft, we have reduced the crime by 39%. One more important thing is that we have reduced the time of police response by 10 to 15 minutes. Previously, the response time for police going to any incident's place was approximately 20 minutes. Now, it has reduced to maximum 5 minutes. Because being a smaller city, the distance is not much, and continuously through that video wall, even before public or somebody is giving information to police, police may reach before that. So now the cross-functional departments, after discussing the impacts, I would be discussing a little about the departmental, all the stakeholders for this program, for this project. Gandhinagar is a state capital and it's a little different city than other cities because it was developed in 1970. And being a new city, there are many departments. It's not like any other common corporation where every services are with one municipal corporation. There is R&B and forest and many other departments who are taking care of different subject and different services. So these are the 7 to 8 stakeholders through whom we had to carry the project. So now I would be talking about the challenges. So being first in the city, first city in the country, when we were preparing RFP, there was no example before us. No city has done, so there was no replicability, and it was everything. So you can say everyone was new to the project. RFP, our consultant, our project management consultant, and even the successful bidder, Starlight, who did this project, everyone was new. So there were a lot of challenges, but after continuous efforts, we could make out. And multiple department, every department had its own procedure and policy. So what we say, it was hurdles, full of hurdles, but finally, so these are the problems to a city where multiple stakeholders are there. In a city where single-handed, if the project is being dealt, it can be finished quite earlier also. Then the sustainability was a problem. Rate of interest return, that was a big issue. As I would say, we had envisaged a lot of revenue from this data selling. After a certain amount of free data, we can monetize the data. But due to solid competition and that too after Geo, we are now unable to get those much clientele for data. So now we will have to find some another inorganic ways to sell our network and to collaborate with some of the ISP in the city or some of the telecom operators in the city. So we are exploring all those options, and by that also we would like to improve the commercial situation and rate of return. As I said, departmental procedure and participation, every department has its own hurdles and system. For example, for forest, there are some forest area in the city, protected forest area in the city, and they told at the first outset they said, you will have to go up to Nagpur or up to Delhi. But finally, by contacting each other, and we could make it faster. So there were hurdles, but we could succeed. Thank you all, and thank you for listening to me peacefully. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Modi, for giving us this insightful talk on various initiatives that Gandhi Nagar municipality has taken to make the city which is smart for living. Thank you so much. So, with this, we'll start with the panel. I think so I'll be more comfortable standing on the podium rather than holding this mic, so I'll move on the podium. So before we start the panel, I would like to understand from all our panelists that how do they see the role of geospatial in enabling the smart cities in India, and how can the geospatial contribute to making cities smart? So if we can start with Deepak.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. To me, to understand the role of geospatial technologies in smart city, let's understand first of all the difference between a city with the smart facilities and a smart city. So what makes a city with smart facilities and converts it into a smart city? I think two words: a city that is self-aware and a city that is self-enabled. Normally these two words are used for living beings, for animate living beings, but let's see how we can transpose that in this context. A city that is self-aware, it's aware of its needs, it's aware of its incidents, it's aware of its resources, and it is self-enabled. It is enabled to be able to bear its resources in a timely manner, in most economical manner, at the point of need. Then it becomes a smart city. Now for that, a lot of technologies have to come together. These technologies are already there. They are there being placed in various cities and all. But they have to come together. The data has to be synergized. There has to be collation of data which creates an instant situational awareness. Now human beings, we are intuitively partial perception people. We have got binocular vision, we have got 2 ears. We perceive direction and distance intuitively. So we perceive things spatially. And if anything that is presented in a spatial manner straight away makes sense to us, we are able to comprehend it very easily and take decisions. That is where geospatial technologies come in. Now, all this data that various sensors, various inputs from across the city that's coming in can be collated and displayed in a geospatial layout that makes sense to the decision maker immediately. He's able to take on-time decisions, he's able to take informed decisions, and thereafter he's able to direct his resources to the right place where the resource is needed. This display of data also helps a lot in forward planning. Again, for the same reason, because our needs, our resources can be collated on one canvas. Canvas is the word that comes to the mind, or tool, whichever way you will. And that enables the smart city. So to my mind, the geospatial technologies are the catalytic factor that transfer a city with smart facilities into a smart city.
Yes. So, Neeraj, your views?
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Neeraj. So, as we are talking about smart cities, so there are two words, smart and city. So, city itself is nothing but, is a defined boundary, defined geography. So, whatever geospatial we talk about, that is of more relevance, because city is nothing but a geography. So until unless we can, and the other word is smart. So what I see is these technologies is a bridge between smart and city. So right now, in any case, we are living in cities. The moment we want to make it smart, these technologies are the one which, of course, Deepak has covered a lot of things around, how do we do it. But my point is that the moment we talk about city making smart, so it is, what? It is land, it is homes, it is human resources, it is infra, everything is on the land. And then we need to, when we want a single visibility or manageability around all this land and geo regions, then it is a technology which has to, which we should be, GUI, we should be able to give some kind of GUI which somebody can monitor. We should be able to throw some kind of data or some kind of analytics which should be apprehendable, and people should be able to take faster decisions around that. The administration should be able to take faster decisions around it. So it is all, today we are in the fortunate world wherein we have the base ready. I mean, as in a lot of examples, as Mr. Modi has said that Gandhi Nagar is already a live example. There are many such cities where we have been able to successfully use the technologies to take faster decisions, to collect the data, and to deliver usable use cases for a better living. So these technologies make a lot of relevance, and of course, they are the bridge between smart and the cities. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. So if I just try to put a perspective that we are talking of smart cities, so if you look at the entire life cycle, because this is not about building smart cities alone. So if you look at the entire life cycle from your conceptualization / planning through creating your smart cities and then maintaining. So if you look at this as one perspective, and second perspective is we have to have optimal deployment of resources, because we do not have luxury of resources. And obviously, what we are trying to achieve through smart, two things primarily to me. One, our stakeholders, how we can make their lives easy and better. And second, how can we maximize the revenues? Because I'm very happy that Government of India, if I may use the Hindi term, उन्होंने कोई ठेकेदारी नहीं ली है कि स्मार्ट सिटी हम बना के देंगे या हम पैसा देंगे और we will give the money. They are very clear. They are giving basically base money to give confidence to all the stakeholders that government is serious. Then they are saying you generate your revenues and maintain them and sustain them. So if you look at all this, there is a need, and smart cities, what we are saying, what you conceptualize today, trust me, after 3 years, you will have a very different outlook to smart cities, because as you will deploy, you will see new things, new problems coming up, new challenges coming up, new opportunities coming up. So that is where I think, to me, role of geospatial is very, very special. Because I have learned long back, one of my colleagues is sitting here who I have learned a lot from her, Chavi Gupta. So where, if you have a spatial data, and then you have your departmental or, your each layer of data on the top of it, and somewhere you can look at vertically into this. So if you have to really create like vertical roads. Now today there is a time when we are talking of vertical roads. How do you do that? Somewhere the metro has already gone in, somewhere pipes are there, water pipes are there, power pipes are there. If everything is geo-mapped, sitting in one room, you don't have to run around the city. You can actually plan. And my last point, if the smart cities can also say that things like digging the road and all that, how they can institutionalize this rather than allowing every day, all these things. Can they schedule, like, digging of this road will happen during this time, and you have to, and that can be done sitting in one room if your various layers of data from various perspectives are mapped to a geo map. That is my initial perspective to that.
Mr. Modi, would you like to add some perspective to it?
As rightly it is said by Sudhir ji, government has not taken any thekedari to make you a smart, livable city. It's up to the citizen and up to the administrator of the city who have to prove the trust put by government into the city administration and into the civic society of the particular city. It's only a seed capital, whatever is government is going to give. In general, whenever we look at the figures, we are always impressed by, oh, 2,000 crore or 4,000 crore. The number of capital can never be big or small. It is the technology or the data that can provide us some leeway to get the city clean. And for making any city clean and smart, the citizen has to give a lot of contribution to it. Generally, if I am talking a very small example, do we have time?
Yeah.
Okay. Gandhi Nagar, we are sometimes boasting it's 100% educated city. Everyone in the city is literate. But the situation is that though we have put so many garbage bins on road, nobody is interested using them. So it's very clear my 90% of staff time is being wasted because picking those garbage and putting it to the right place. So it is also up to city, it is also with the society and everyone, every stakeholder will have to become smart. And the most, I think I am going a little out of way, so I am coming back to track. The geospatial studies and the technology provide us a great data by which we can use the resources of the city, whether it is capital or human manpower or whatever, in optimum way and optimum manner, so that by optimum usage of manpower and capital, we can give all the best services to our city, and in that way our city can become more sustainable, more reliable and resilient. So sometimes the data can be useful like that. Of course, every city administration has to deal with its politicians, and they are also part of the system. They are very, very important and vital role. So sometimes they may play with their vote. जहाँ पे वोट ज़्यादा मिलेंगे वहाँ ज़्यादा काम करेंगे, like that. So by data is power, and if we can utilize those data and technology in implementing our services, then I think geospatial technology, it's very much possible. The next 5 years could be of geospatial technology. Thank you.
Well, Abhay, your views?
Good afternoon. The geospatial technology has come a long way as the word which is coined geospatial. So we've been seeing the technology evolution within geospatial. So we being a player of implementing geospatial technology over last 17 years. So we know how the phasing has been done and how the technology has evolved within itself. So it's not remained mere a data creation or remain a tool mapping kind of technology. So it has evolved, and a lot of technologies has imbibed within geospatial. So implementing those into a ULB or a smart city or any municipality has given its own value to the society and to the governance. So adding into the geospatial technology, we have seen lot of new innovations have added into that, for specifically to the citizen side. And when you are creating a smart city, which is not built in a day's time, or probably will not be a single project delivery. So it's over the period of time, smart city has been built up, because a lot of data has been created all these years. Probably last 20 years, we've seen a lot of data has been created, and a lot of data has been, out of that data, a lot of decision has been taken. So geospatial has played a key role in creating this decision support system for the municipalities as well for the governance of into the government system. So probably geospatial will move into another verticals within the ULBs. So that will give right kind of solutioning and right kind of benefit to the citizens. Thank you.
Thanks, Abhay. Sanjay, your views?
Good afternoon. So, by one definition, the smart city is basically an integration of human, physical and ICT resources which are locationally intelligent. Now, when we talk of an integrated system which is locationally intelligent, we primarily, talk of various sensors, electrical utilities, telecom utilities, gas utilities, buildings, properties, lands and various assets integrated together so that there is enough intelligence that is generated locationally so that decision making can be easier and the life of citizens in a particular city can actually be much easier, and that can truly be called a smart city. If we take a fragmented approach, like we have created a Wi-Fi, we have created a CCC center and my city has become a smart city. That is primarily a misnomer where we do few fragmented things. There is a difference between doing things in a fragmented manner and in a scalable manner. When we talk of things in a scalable manner, that means that I want to do this today, I'll do that tomorrow, but I do have a strategy and a plan in place where the entire smart city can be scaled up. And when we talk about this scaling up, and planning of a smart city from a geospatial perspective, one of the key components is the data. Now, a large number of stakeholders and consultants who are associated with the stakeholders primarily see GIS as a tool where it can, something can be visualized. A road can be visualized, traffic can be visualized, asset can be visualized. But that is not what geospatial technology is. It is not primarily meant for visualization. A visualization doesn't give us anything. You can only see a map. So you need a system where you can actually analyze and get results and work out on certain solutions. I mean, one very simple example that we all can see in our day-to-day lives. If you book a taxi on your Uber app, what happens in most of the cases? You will see that taxi rotating on its axis, sometimes going backwards, sometimes going in middle of a lake, and then he'll call you up, you have to tell him his location. And then he tells you, I am across the road, I am behind the road, I am in front of a picture hall. How does it happen? Why does it happen? It happens because he is using a poor quality data. And the same data, when it is used for visualization in smart city, is of no use. So primarily, when we are talking of a geo-enabled smart city, it has to have a highly accurate data, which is having an accuracy of maybe few centimeters. It has an accuracy of 5 centimeters. It has a resolution of 2.5 centimeters. That is the data that has to be modeled and structured in a manner so that, we can have various solutions, whether it is a utility solution, a telecom solution, a property tax solution, a traffic infrastructure solution, and that would actually make a city smart and geospatially enabled, where you have this quality data which is good for present use as well as future use, and this is a high resolution 3D data. If we use low resolution data, low priced, low quality data, you have to do the entire thing again. You are doing few things today, you are visualizing few things, but tomorrow if you come to utilities, you come to road infrastructure, intelligent traffic, what you need is high resolution data, 3D data, which can actually give you intelligent insights, and you can have a smart city in true sense for the present as well as for future. Thank you.
Atanu, your views?
Thank you, Anamika. Good afternoon, everybody. I'll give you some small examples. Sanjay has given some few of them. When you move from one place to other place, you generally, and I'm giving this example just to make aware of what geospatial does actually. One place to other place, you generally use a Google map, you select one place to other place.
there is an option that comes in with Google Maps is take a right turn, take a left turn, which is in writing, say left turn from 2 kilometers. How many of you use that? You don't use that. You use the map to move, right? One is the map. Second, have you seen there are orange marks and red marks? Yes. Right? Why are those? Those are basically your own mobile devices, and lot of IoT data which is getting integrated on the map gives you an intelligent information to move from place A to place B in a particular time period, and says where, at what speed, and what critical places you will get stuck. You can plan your route accordingly. Similarly, so what it does, it has made a simple map into an intelligent information based on which you are going to act. Similarly, one more small example that I'll give is you have a lot of social media, and I read today, somebody said that you can use this social media and geospatial technology to predict flu outbreak. What is that? That means you are collating data from your social media or Twitter platform and making information intelligent to understand which part of the city will have a flu outbreak, and you can act accordingly. What I'm trying to say here is that when you have silos of information, which is, I saw Gujarat 45 plus divisions, right? These informations are individually happening in silos. When I bring this together and bring it to a visual level, that's what geospatial technologies does to you. Smart. I have brought this data, did some visualization, but can I predict? Can I predict, and can I run some kind of algorithm to understand that based on these 3-4 parameters, what will be the situation in next 5 days? And I'll give you an example. Urban flooding is the biggest challenge today. We have a rainfall data. We have complete information how the city is inundated. We have the 3D model of. So can we predict that if this rainfall is so much, because I know what is the severe outages and how I know what is the drainages, I can predict where the inundation will happen, and can I take a preventive action on that? I think that's what it is smart city is called. So what we are doing is integrating silos of information of drainage data, rain data, your 3D city, and bringing in out an information which is key for the citizens. Here, the citizen is the major gainer. And what we are doing is Geospatial is bringing in all these data together. I hope I'm good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Ruchi. Yeah, so getting to speak last is the best thing because every point has already been made, and I endorse all speakers, but the best thing is I'm the only woman on panel, so I have a different take on it as well. So the different take here is that let's see that we have been discussing a lot about the technologies being adopted, and let's just see that as a hard interface, right? These are all those hard points. Yes, we have X number of IoT, Y number of things, and street lights, LEDs, etc. Let's say the soft part is the people. Why are we doing that? We're doing it so that we can benefit, we can have a better life, we can have a better quality of life. So what does geospatial data do here? To my mind, it is the interface in between. As human beings, we are very cognitive in nature. We perceive, and I understand that it is not just a visual medium, but it's the best medium to create an impact. It's the best medium to tell the citizen that, hey, things are flooding. This area is relieved of chain snatching. There are X number of examples, and if you start with that and then escalate, then geospatial technology has leaps and bounds. How? You map the existing state of affairs. You prepare scenarios, you put those scenarios out there, you tell the citizens, which choice do you want? Make it a participatory approach. And leaps and bounds are all there. It's not just related to, technology and sources. Yes, that helps us capture. But how do you then manage, analyze, and then strategize around it? I come from this background on how you'd map inequities. How do you understand which of the citizens don't get basic services in the city? Who are more vulnerable? And I think geospatial technology then makes a city smart because a city is for all. Thank you.
I'll stick to Ruchi. Again, there's a question for you. We have just heard Deepak talking about or differentiating between smart facilities and smart city. So do you really think that the cities will be evolving from smart cities to becoming an intelligent city?
With every decade you will hear a new word. But at the end, I am a big proponent of people-centric cities.
Okay.
And if anything helps your quality of life become better, then why not? So intelligent city, yes, but put that in the funds you use, in the right way. Put that in the decision making you do. Make it as your evidence. Look at things so that you want to see your cities progressing. The tendency here is you try to aspire and bring things from the West, but the things are that the things are going to the West and coming back to you. So we need to understand those potentialities, and definitely smart cities, smart facilities, intelligent city. I'll throw one more term, prosperous city.
Yes.
So these will keep coming on and on, but people just need to live a good, healthy life. And that is those indicators which you need to monitor and help them grow. And
I agree to you, Ruchi. Well, Abhay, we have just heard Mr. Modi talking about the challenges that the municipalities seeing is that ROI on OPEX. So how do you see that the impact of these technologies in the municipal budget vis-a-vis the value being derived by this technology? So,
Question is to me?
that was one slide on challenges wherein you had written ROI on OPEX.
First of all, the issue is that the project is costing 22 crore rupees. 50% is capex and the 50% is OPEX. OPEX every quarter we have to pay 2.5%. So by this way we are paying 50% throughout the next 5 years. So by ROI I was understanding the return on an investment. So what we are investing for the city, that should come back in two ways. There is one term financial IRR and another is economic IRR.
Yeah.
As I have already mentioned, the free Wi-Fi data what we are giving to the city, that is approximately 7 to 8 crore rupees. And by that Wi-Fi data, citizen can contact the various department of the city nicely, easily, without commuting to the offices. So sitting at his own place, he can conclude his all jobs. So that was the economic way of return. But I was understanding what I was saying by ROI challenge was that as we had expected data connectivity by selling of those data, we were thinking of 5 to 7 crore rupees during the next 5 years. That expectation has gone wrong because of the policy and competition in data after Geo. So that has worsened our situation, and to overcome that challenge, to mitigate that risk, we will have to come in some another inorganic way, like we can sell our network to any ISP like GTPL, or we can give our network for off-road facility to the telecom data distributors like Vodafone or Bharti, etc. So by that way we are thinking.
So Abhay or Atanu, you would like to add something on this?
Yeah, Mr. Modi has actually pointed out the tangible values of whatever has been implemented there. But there would be numerous intangible benefits, values we will have after implementing geospatial technology. So primarily what Sanjay and Atanu was telling, that accuracy would be the key. So coming in, we will have geospatial technology implementation, creating a lot of data, which will be of very large values and very immense benefit to the support system, which would be very primary benefit for the governance of the individual ULBs or the municipalities. So creating this kind of 3D data or accurate data would fetch a lot of benefits in future for your traffic movement, for your even building norms approvals, and numerous planning coming in for the future. So that will really give that kind of benefits, that kind of value while implementing this geospatial technology. So coming into the smart cities, probably this is going to be a biggest benefit, like as we are going to implement a lot of IoTs. So when you have the accurate data or you have accuracy or precision of the data, then you can actually reduce the cost of implementing that smart city technologies.
Thank you, Anamika. I suppose one of the things that smart cities we are talking about is sustainable cities. And I think the sustainable comes from how revenues are flowing into the city, the municipal corporations, how things are being managed, and how effectively the resources are being utilized. Some of the places, one of the things that I have seen that all the municipal corporations wants to increase the revenue through the property taxation, right? How you have mapped the property, how many stories in the property, is this as a commercial property, is there pending from a particular locality? Really, frankly speaking, when you bring on these whole every data into the geospatial space, you get a hotspot mapping saying, understanding that this ward has got so much of revenue pending. This is a commercial place where the revenue is increasing. Can I increase something more because the revenue flow or the taxation is increased because you have collected or connected that data of the tax collection also. That means there are more purchasing that is happening from that commercial place. So all this, what it does is increases the revenue, which makes it more sustainable. Similarly, you can find out command control centers that we heard about and big screens. If you run video analytics along with the command control center, you will be able to predict also that where the crime has happened, can happen. I'll give you a small example. When I'm saying that video analytics along with the command control center, that means if you know in a metro station, only the pillars, benches are stationary and the platform. And if you see there's a bag which is lying there for say 10 minutes unattended, you run analytics and you can pinpoint where this bag is and you can accordingly send forces. So what I'm trying to say here is, one is that sustainable, second is safe, which is critical for a city to be, a smarter city.
Well, I'll come to Sudhir. Mr. Sudhir, we have been looking at that when we are coming up with these smart cities, there are lots of stress on the infrastructure, and the kind of infrastructure development that is taking place needs constant monitoring, which is also a kind of risk to the infrastructure. So what is your views in terms of these kind of risks that are coming up?
Sure, Anamika, I would like to classify risk from two perspectives.
Right.
One is the technology risk, what the infrastructure we are building, the cyber risk, and those risks which are prevailing. There is also a business risk. Let's acknowledge today we have very little time in hand from smart cities or transformational project perspective, and we want to work on yesterday's pace. So one other thing could be like when you are looking at your stakeholders. So I would like to comment briefly on the financial risk perspective. So when you are looking at your stakeholders, two things you would like to do possibly. One, that when you are bringing any stakeholder as a part of smart cities, either as a vendor or as an investor, it may be critical to look at the credential of that organization. That has this organization been ever engaged in things like financial crime? And if you figure out something like that, it doesn't mean you don't do business with them. Only thing is that you tend to put some checks and balances in place, and it helps you identifying those. Second, there would be situations when you are looking at various situations to look into the crime, financial crime which will happen. It will happen. Let's say you can't eliminate this thing. So could there be tools, database-led tools, which can help you look at comprehensively and expedite your investigation? So I'm saying both onboarding and in case there is any wrongdoing, then from investigation perspective, how it can be comprehensive and it can be fast. Now, if you give me 30 seconds more, I would like to make another point, because I think Mr. Amitabh Kant is coming in the afternoon, and we have Mr. Modi here. So I'm making a request to the organizers, put together this 3 combo, and I'm quite inspired by GST Council. So I'm saying for smart cities, 100 smart cities, what government has identified, Mr. Modi, you may want to review this. Can we have a smart city council? Now, what does it mean? I'm saying if we have 100 CEOs, or it may be 150, 200, all the CEOs put together should form a GST council, smart city council, from multiple perspectives. One, whatever the experience sharing from each other. 2, tomorrow, I'm quite rest assured that as you go forward, you may require a lot of legislative changes, a lot of the way empowerment of this SPV perspective. So could there be a way, because I have seen in GST where central government for the first time since independence has given away their powers to GST Council. So could there be a situation of what certain powers, the central government, or because this is a state subject mostly, the state departments can rest with the council or with your SPV. So, and also it could be sharing your experience like what you have done in, let's say, a particular solution in Ahmedabad, Gandhi Nagar. Now, government to government, it may be very easy to, for any other city to adopt from you. And you may start stipulating these things in your subsequent tenders also. Okay, the bidder who is bidding, there could be a situation when this solution may be replicable in another city. So what will be the rules of the game for that? So my humble request is if something like this can be reviewed, and if you think it makes sense, it can be considered, and it may bring a lot of experience sharing, empowerment, and building the next steps.
Thank you, Mr. Sudhir. Before I go to the next panelist, I'll open the floor for questions or any suggestions from the audience. If anybody wants to ask any question to the panelist.
Hello. Yeah. Hi. I'm Ankush Jindal from IIT Mandi, a student there and a co-founder of Solar Labs. So my question is to Shri DN Modi about drones and drone regulations. So like we know, drones are really important to get better data and real-time surveillance. So what should be the government take on this of how to regulate drones and who should have the access to data?
The goals were very simple when we started this project. When we started the RFP, should I reply in the light of the project or general?
Short.
I hope so. So the goal was very simple, to give our citizen data connectivity so that they can easily contact offices, and to provide the city surveillance so that the citizen can have a better, safe and secure city. That's it. Nothing more.
Thank you, Mr. Modi. Well, I'll go to Mr. Deepak now, and my question to Mr. Deepak would be on IoT. How do you actually see a kind of challenge in terms of concerning IoT, especially in the context of smart cities in India today? What is the status right now? What kind of challenges do you foresee?
Okay. Now, IoTs, and there's the buzzword now, which goes wherever smart city word goes. And IoTs are coming out by the dozen. Patents are being filed. To my mind, first of all, what do we consider an IoT? IoT is a device probably that can do whatever its mission is unsupervised. That is the element. If supervision is needed, then it's like any other computer. So it can do its mission unsupervised and interact with the atmosphere, environment, using the internet, report back. For example, the simplest of IoT, which is being used in almost all the smart cities today, is a small device in the dustbin, which raises a flag when the dustbin is full and needs servicing. Now, that device doesn't need any supervision. The moment dustbin is full, it can raise its flag, and somebody knows that there is a dustbin that needs servicing. A lot of flags go up on a screen. He can plan the route in an efficient manner using geospatial display and get all those serviced. IoT basically has become possible with the IPv5, if I may say. IPv4, the number of addresses were too few for any effective IoT implementation. You would have run out of your layer 3 addresses before you would have been able to do anything even in one city. So IPv5 has made it viable and possible to implement IoTs at city scale. However, one thing that should be kept in mind is that in IoT, a lot of IoTs are coming up because of their fancy value and not, as I can borrow a phrase from my co-panelist, its value to the human beings. And that is something that should be taken care of. Otherwise, IoTs are the way to go for smart cities.
And we put up those on clouds for analysis and in retrieving the data, but there are security issues into that. So how do you see that as a data security issues?
So very, very valid concern, and coming from a data center, background. I don't know how many so we talk about the smart cities and we are talking about analyzing the data and all that, but let me tell you, right now also a lot of analytics is being run on whatever we are doing. So somebody has talked about Google Maps. So that's nothing but, anonymous analytics is being run on whatever we are doing, wherever we are traveling with Google on. And that's how this red and yellow line is being predicted. I'm sure many of us would be using, public accounts like Gmail or Hotmail. I don't know how many of you would have noticed, if you look for a ticket from Delhi to Nainital or from Delhi to Mumbai, next time when you open the setup, you will get a hotel banners in Mumbai at the sideline of this thing. So this is what? There's nothing else by analytics. So it is already happening. And people are there who are already viewing, and analyzing what we are doing without knowing us. So there's a lot of security issues around the moment we try to have, any kind of public platform where all data put together can be captured. So keeping that in mind, thanks to the government of India that we are talking about creating a data repository which is in control of government of India itself, so that any commercial organization cannot use it for their own perspective, and so to say for any kind of threat or any kind of monopoly. So with that perspective to support this initiative of government, Smart City, what we have done is, out of our 9 data centers, 6 data centers we have partnered with BSNL, Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited, so which is a government organization. And in line with the DITI notification, what we have done is, all these 6 data centers are not connected to any of the cloud exchanges outside India. So data is within India, or on any kind of private network. These 6 data centers are not connected outside any cloud exchange or any data repository. Also, the physical surveillance so we have implemented 5 levels of security in our data centers. So the physical security is being maintained by BSNL itself. So all the entry-exit procedures are through BSNL itself. and hence we are ensuring that even if we want, as in NxtGen, we cannot, allow or take out any kind of data out of these data centers. We have also implemented, electronic surveillance security, and then network level security or infra level security we have also put. So that way, and not only that, so what we have done is, for the ease of government setups, what we have done, we allow them to come with any kind of third party and audit the security levels at their data centers. I mean, it's a third party audit which we allow, apart from our own audits and certifications. So here the most important point which I am trying to make out is, while we are gathering the data with an intention to use it for the benefit of the citizen, it should not end up that we create this kind of data repository and it is unmonitored. I mean, it is not secured. It's a huge data. For example, we are running Election Commission of India on our setup. So it has almost 100 crores of input and the data of every citizen. So we need to ensure that these are on with secure platform. So this is very much important, and hence we have created that kind of infrastructure.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Neeraj. So the last question for this panel discussion goes to Sanjay. We have heard Ruchi and we have been hearing a lot many that we should keep people at the center, and citizen is also becoming sensors these days. So how do you see integration of all these things and taking this initiative forward?
Definitely, when we are, talking of smart cities or, any urban center, primarily the people definitely become the central point of whatever initiatives are being, considered for that particular city or that urban center. And especially considering the today's situation where there's a huge pressure on all urban centers due to the migration from the, non-urban centers to the urban centers, the people have to be, kept in the center of all the plan that is being made, whether it is related to their, ease of transportation, or whether it is related to their properties, whether it is related to their safety and security, whether it is related to, some of the compliances that people have to meet while they are living in particular cities, so that the other people are not really affected. So I think in case of all urban centers, people have to be central while we are considering any initiatives, any ICT plans, any integration plans. And again, since we are talking in the context of geospatial, I think geospatial technologies have a great role to play there in terms of, easing out the traffic congestions, telling alternative routes to people which would be the best way to move and how they can move their workplaces or their homes very, very quickly without less botheration, or whether, they are being compliant in terms of their building plans, whether they are being compliant in terms of the city master plans, so that the other people, the governance infrastructure is not really impacted by, some of the things that other people might like to do. So definitely, the smart cities, the geospatially enabled infrastructure has to do a lot with the people who are residing in the cities.
Well, thanks, Sanjay. And with this, I thank all my panelists for the insightful thoughts that they have presented over here in this panel. And I would sum up this panel with one of my thoughts, that the best way to implement and understand data is through the means of collaboration between different city departments, field crews, citizens, and businesses, and all of which is possible in a kind of maybe cloud-based mapping system or a web-based or any such platform that is there. So these kind of interactive maps and the system of systems on different devices become a kind of smart workboard where different stakeholders of the city, citizens, and they actually discuss, interact, and make decisions based on real-time insights that has been given through this technology. So having in mind that building a smarter city is a process and not a point of time, using geospatial technology is very key and important into this process. So with this, I thank all of you for being here, and with this I end the panel. Thank you.